Right, good afternoon. Welcome back, everybody. And get through our pleas. I'm ready to let everybody in. All right, good afternoon, everyone. This is our plea calendar. We may have some folks who are having some technical issues or may arrive late, but we'll see. Just go through it in order and see. We've got some cases where we've got everybody here. I'm going to start with our petition one, Justin Pagano. Pagano here. Don't see that one. We'll come back to Mr. Pagano. Go to our position two, Israel Lopez.
Yes, Your Honor. The state just submitted a null pros on that case, and I'll just put on the record that the defendant pled to an expired tag based on the same facts of this case out of Roswell Municipal Court. So that's the reason for the null pros on this case, Your Honor.
All right. That one. Next one. Next one I have is Simone McMichael. I don't have any paperwork for that one.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, I see Mr. Lopez on. I don't know if you want to dismiss him. I don't see Mr. Howell on.
Mr. Lopez.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Lopez, your case has been dismissed, so you are free to go today.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez. So what's happening with Simone McMichael?
Mr. Woods had reached out and he was provided the link just a few minutes ago, so I'm not sure why he's not on.
Mr. Wood?
I did provide plea paperwork to Mr. Woods. At one point, he did say that he was not able to locate his client, but I think he was able to locate her, but I'm not sure about the status of the.
And I believe the client is on Zoom. I see a SM Michael and she's nodding her head. So I guess she's just waiting for the attorney to sign on.
Mr. Woods is here.
I see Mr. Woods right there as well.
Here. Woods, you're on mute. Ms. Daniels, did you get plea paperwork?
No, as the solicitor indicated, Mr. Woods reached out to us and indicated that he had no contact with his client. And today he indicated that this was the first time he had contact with her. But he's there, but I see he's on mute.
Mr. Woods, can you unmute your device, please?
Yes, I did.
All right. So we had this set down for plea. So tell me what's going on, Mr. Woods.
Well, Miss McMichaels is set for a plea today. So she indicated that it was okay to take a plea with her her current plea that the solicitors provided us.
The issue is I don't have the paperwork that we usually require to take a plea.
Okay.
There's usually a plea and verdict form that has to be signed and a plea statement, which advises the person of the rights. And my understanding is that that was sent to you for you to have your client sign. Did you not receive it?
I don't remember receiving it, but she'll sign it.
I just resent it, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Judge, at this late stage, I don't believe we'll be able to take Ms. Michaels' plea. I don't have her paperwork. I don't know what it involves. If it involves a DUI, she has assigned certain documents that have to come back to me.
So this one is gonna be a reckless, but she would have to do the probation contact form, Ms. Daniels.
Right, and I don't have anything.
Right.
All right, we're gonna have to reset it. Wood, you gotta,
Is there something that could be sent to me directly that I can go ahead and sign on my end?
I can send it to her.
do you have it, Mr. You've sent it, Ms. Salette, already?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Woods, do you have it?
Could I provide an email or anything in the chat to have it sent to me as well?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do that right now. I'm sending it now through the chat.
And Ms. Salette, with Mr. Woods' permission, we'll have you go ahead and email that plea paperwork directly to Ms. McMichael.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. McMichael,
Yes, Your Honor.
so that paperwork is going to come to you. You reach out to Mr. Woods,
Will do.
and if you have any issues, you can contact my chambers and we'll straighten it out. I know you want to get this resolved, and
Yes, sir.
there have been some technical snafus along the way, but
Yes, sir.
we're right with you in wanting to get this resolved as efficiently as possible.
I just received it from Miss Courtney, I believe. I appreciate it. I have it here. I see it.
So we'll reset it to the next plea calendar. Ms. McMichael, you're free to go. Mr. Woods, you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think we have Mr. Pagano on. Do we have the attorney, Attorney Stidham?
I don't think so yet.
Not yet. All right, well, we'll wait for Mr. Stidham to get on. And we'll go ahead and handle your plea once you get in. Go to our next one, position 4, Robert Dumas. See Mr. Martin.
Here.
All right, Mr. Dumas, can you turn your camera on so I can see you, please?
I, I'm trying to figure out how. It won't let me. And I can't figure out how to turn it on.
Bottom left-hand corner, there should be a little icon that says video on it.
Yeah, it has an arrow through. When I hit it, it said access, allow Zoom to access camera from device settings. And I tried it too.
Unfortunately, I cannot take your plea unless I can see you.
Your Honor, we would, I'm not sure how long the calendar is, but we can be held to the end of the calendar, see if Mr. Dumas can work out the technical issue. We're not physically together, so I cannot assist him in getting on.
All right. Why don't I? I'm going to create a breakout room. I'm going to put you both in the breakout room, and perhaps you might be able to help him through it.
Okay. Do I need to raise hand or something else to let you know when we, or if we figure this out, or will you just check back in on us in a moment?
I'll check back in with you.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
on Galaxy Notes. All right.
And Judge, on position 1, Attorney Stidham filed a conflict, but he asked the court to hold.
All
That
right.
he would be appearing, but he's in another court at the moment. But if we could just hold.
All right, we'll hold. Next one. Bradley Smith. Smith is here. Terry Hoffman.
All right, I'm here. I think my mute is off.
All right. Go ahead with that one. Ms. Let, you want to outline it for me?
Is Mr. Smith on?
He is. He said I checked with him and he said he was able to log on. So
Oh, okay.
I think he's
I
on.
don't see him on my screen, I don't think, but
If you would, Mr. Smith, take yourself off mute. You're muted right now.
and Ms. Salette, we are willing to stipulate to a factual basis if you would like us to. Otherwise, you can read the facts into the record, whatever the judge prefers.
My audio working now?
Yes, now
Here
we.
he is.
All right.
All right, Your Honor, this is Bradley Smith, case number 19DF 000225F. And the defendant is pleading guilty to DUI, alcohol less safe. The disorderly conduct charge will be dismissed. The state's recommendation is 12 months served 24 hours, credit for time served 24 hours with the balance probated, $300 fine, 40 hours community service, risk reduction, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, random screens, and a victim impact panel.
That's our understanding of the terms, Judge.
Very good. All right, Mr. Smith, I have a few questions for you.
Sir.
You're being represented by Attorney Hoffman here today. Are you satisfied with her services?
Yes, sir.
Right. And Your intent today is to plead guilty to the charge of DUI, alcohol less safe.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right. You understand that by pleading guilty to that charge, you're giving up the right to a trial by jury or by me.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand you're giving up the right to require the state to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
As the attorney explained to you, we've heard it from the state, the conditions. Has your attorney explained to you all the conditions that you'll be required to comply with as part of your probation in this case?
Yes, sir.
So do you understand that if you don't complete all of those conditions of probation or report to probation as instructed, that I can revoke your probation and send you to jail?
Yes, sir.
All right. I accept your plea. Sentence is as recommended and agreed. Once all conditions of probation are verified, satisfied by probation, probation will go to non-reporting status. So, Mr. Smith, the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to be contacted by our probation department, and that contact may happen by phone. What we'll need you to do is we'll need you to look out for strange numbers on your phone and respond to all of them until you're connected with probation. Because if you don't connect with probation, that could be considered a violation of your probation term.
Yes, sir.
So make sure you connect with probation and report as directed. I think that's all we have, unless there are any.
Judge, I just want to make sure that I am requesting the referral form for the permit and to get guidance as to how to handle the turning in of the license. The other day, I was in a different judge's court down there, and the case manager actually wanted people to maybe come by and swap the license for the referral permit. So just so we make sure we do the right thing, what's the protocol for that?
So what we have been doing, Judge, the lost license affidavit had been completed, but I don't think one was sent to her. So if she wants to mail in the defendant's license or have them delivered to the clerk's office, but I can go
Okay.
ahead and place the lost license affidavit in the mail.
I think he has a license to turn in. Bradley, do you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so if he brings his license to the clerk's office down there, would they be able to then give him the referral permit?
If he wants to do it that way, I can have it in the file and have the clerk give him the referral, but normally I just mail it out.
Oh, okay. We'll have you mail it then. Thank you so much for doing that.
All right.
All right, that sounds good, Judge. Everything looks like we got it completed here.
All right, very good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hoffman. Y'all are free to go.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
All right, I think we have Mr. Martin and Mr. Dumas. I see Mr. Dumas now. I think we're ready to go ahead with that plea.
Yes, we are, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Thank you for the court's patience.
Your Honor, this is Robert Dumas, case number 19 CR 003-253F. The defendant is pleading guilty to reckless conduct. The state's recommendation on this case is 12 months probation, a $400 fine, or 40 hours of community service. I'm not sure which one was chosen, and a child safety class.
Martin, that accord with what your understanding of the conditions are?
Yes, Your Honor. I just want to confirm with Mr. Dumas if he's going to pay the $400 fine in lieu of the community service. Mr. Dumas?
You just went on mute. You need to unmute. There you go.
Yes, I will.
Your Honor, he will pay the $400 fine and forego the community service.
I believe there's going to be some additional statutory fees on top of that. Ms. Daniels?
There will be.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I have a question. You said 12 months probation. Is he on probation for the entire 12 months? Or is this 12 months credit for time served, a $400 fine in a child safety class?
I think the probation should terminate once we've completed the child safety class and paid the fine, unless Ms. Salette has some objection there.
I don't have an objection to that. And as far as the credit for time served, I wasn't aware if he had the amount of time he has served. So if that needs to be added in there, we can add that in there as well.
No, that I was just asking whether it was a 12 months probated sentence or 12 months, how we would normally write it up. But I understand the judge is going to give him, going to let it go non-reporting, so he will not be on probation for the entirety.
That's correct. Once everything's satisfied, the probation will terminate. All right, Mr. Dumas, I've got a couple of questions for you. So, Dumas, you're being represented by Attorney Martin here today. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, sir.
All right, and you are pleading no contest today to reckless conduct, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right, and so you understand that by pleading no contest today, that you're giving up the right to a trial.
Yes, sir.
And you understand that by pleading no contest today, you're giving up the right to make the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes, sir.
Right. You understand that the recommended sentence is that you pay a fine and that you complete a 40 hours of community service, of course, on a child safety class course. You understand those requirements?
Yes, sir.
You understand that if you don't complete the 40 hours, you don't complete the child safety class as directed by probation, that I can revoke your probation and send you to jail.
Yes, sir.
All right, I accept your plea. Sentence is as recommended. Once probation is verified, completion of the probation terms, probation will terminate. Mr. Dumas, I want you to be on the lookout for communication, possibly by phone from probation, to get some additional information from you and to advise you as to how to report. So please make sure you respond to probation if they reach out to you. Look out for strange phone numbers until you're connected with them so that you don't potentially violate your probation. That everything should proceed from there.
Judge, before the parties leave, I thought he was paying the fine and not doing the community service.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels. I was about to say that, Your Honor. We're going to pay the fine. So instead of the 40 hours of community service, I believe the Senate should read the $400 fine plus court costs and the
Child safety class.
All right. So once the child safety class is verified, completed, then probation will terminate.
Sir.
All right. Make sure that you connect with probation, take that class, and then you'll be free to move on.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all we have. Maybe you excuse, please.
Yes, you may be excused. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Mr. Dumas.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, let's go to we have Craig Peer.
And Your Honor, he was accepted into diversion. So that will be a diversion case, Your Honor.
Position 7, Lauren Horn.
Your Honor, I did communicate with this defendant about a plea. I sent the offer, I sent the plea paperwork. And then when I called him to remind him about the plea, he kind of acted like he didn't know what I was talking about and said that he wanted to be represented by a public defender. So I have passed along that information to Ms. Braunstein. So I would just ask that this case be reset for status.
And Judge, Ms. Bronstein did indicate that she sent him the application and she received no response.
All right, so that one we're going to set for the trial. Ms. Let, any objection to bench trial?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we'll set it down for bench trial. And all right, position. That was 7. Position 8, Wesley Young.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Alex Merritt for Mr. Young. He's present and on the screen, and this is a negotiated plea for your consideration.
All right, good afternoon. All right, let's hear from Ms. Salette on the terms.
Yes, Your Honor. This is Wesley Young, case number 20 CR 001-888F. The defendant will be pleading guilty to reckless driving, failure to maintain lane, and speeding. So the state will be dismissing all other charges. And I do believe I owe Ms. Daniels a null pros for those charges. But the state's recommendation is going to be a $100 fine for the speeding, $200 fine for the failure to maintain lane, and for the reckless driving charge, 12 months probation, 12 months to serve 24 hours, credit for time served 24 hours, balance probated, a $500 fine, 80 hours community service, alcohol, drug evaluation and treatment, risk reduction, 1 MAD panel. And that'll be it for the state's recommendation, Your Honor.
And we will stipulate to the factual basis, Your Honor.
Right, and Ms. Merritt, those accord with the terms as you understand them?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right, good afternoon, Mr. Young. I have some questions for you. Mr. Young, you're being represented by Attorney Merritt here today. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, Your Honor.
Before I consider your plea, do you have any other questions for your attorney about this case or your plea today?
No, Your Honor.
All right. You understand that by entering a plea here today, that you're giving up the right to a trial by jury or by me?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving up the right to require the state to prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, the offer requires that you be on probation and that you perform a number of conditions as part of your probation. Have all those conditions been explained to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
So you understand that if you don't report to probation as instructed, and you don't complete those conditions, that I can revoke your probation and send you to jail?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. With all that understanding, how do you plead? You guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I accept your plea. The sentence is as recommended. Once you've completed all the conditions of probation, probation will terminate. We have your contact information. What's going to happen from here is probation is going to reach out to you to get some more information from you and to set up how and in what manner you will report. Please be on the lookout for strange numbers on your phone. Don't ignore them or block them, because if you don't get in touch with probation, that could be considered a violation of your probation. Just make sure you get connected and they'll guide you through the process from there.
Thank you.
Any other matters we need to handle before we let you go?
No, Your Honor. Just wanted to thank Ms. Daniels and Ms. Salette for assisting with the paperwork prior to the court appearance. It was very helpful. So thank you both.
You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
Mr. Merritt.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Judge. That concludes my business. May I be excused?
Be excused. Mr.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Excused. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, I have Ernest De Silva.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 20 CR 002235F. And the defendant is pleading guilty to loiter and prowling. And the state's recommendation is 12 months served, 23 days, credit for time served 23 days, the balance suspended, and to stay away from Lake Avenue in Atlanta, Georgia.
All right, Mr. De Silva, you've chosen to represent yourself today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And today you are pleading guilty to loitering or prowling.
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that by pleading guilty today, you're giving up the right to a trial.
Yes, sir.
So the recommendation is that we suspend your sentence and give you time served. You understand that you need to stay away from the incident location. And what is that location, Ms. Salette?
Sorry, Your Honor, 1 second. It's Atlanta Avenue. I can get you the specific location that was in the incident report, but the state is wanting him to stay off of that whole street, Atlanta Avenue, based on the facts of the case.
That seems kind of broad. If we're going to have that condition, it's got to be sufficiently identified so that he can actually has an opportunity to comply with it. I can't ban him from an entire street.
I'm pulling it up now, Your Honor. All right, so the incident location was 823 Lake Avenue.
823 Lake Avenue.
But the reason why I said the entire Lake Avenue is because he was loitering and prowling on that whole street. That just happened to be the location of the person who called 911. That was the address. That was their address.
All right, so I'm willing to expand it to the 800 block of Lake Avenue. That's
Thank you, Your Honor.
as far as we're going to go. So, Mr. De Silva, you understand you can't be on that block where the point where you were arrested. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
You understand if you're found there that you'll go to jail again.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, Mr. De Silva, we accept your plea. This matter is concluded. You are free to go, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. So let's go back. We have Mr. Pagano and Mr. Stidham.
Yes, Judge. I apologize for my tardiness. I had a motion for new trial with Judge Bagley up here in Forsyth that we just concluded a few minutes ago.
All right. Let's go ahead. We'll hear from Ms. Salette.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 13 CR 399 118. The defendant is pleading guilty to disobeying traffic control device. All other charges are to be dismissed. The state's recommendation is 12 months probation, a victim impact panel, risk reduction, and 40 hours of community service. And I do not have an objection to the probation being terminated upon completion of those terms, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Stidham, that accords with your understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, Judge.
All right. So, good afternoon, Mr. Pagano. I have a few questions for you.
Afternoon, sir.
All right, Mr. Pagano, you're being represented by Attorney Stidham here today. Are you satisfied with his services?
Yes, I am.
You have any more questions for your attorney about this case or your plea before I consider your plea here today?
No, sir, I don't.
All right. So today you're pleading guilty to failure to obey a traffic control device. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. You understand that by pleading guilty to that charge, you're giving up the right to a trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're giving up the right to make the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt.
Correct.
So the recommended sentence is that you go on probation and to complete a risk reduction course, attend a victim impact panel, and perform 40 hours of community service. You're aware of your obligation to comply with those requirements.
Yes, sir, I am.
And you understand that if you don't comply with those requirements or report to probation as instructed, that I can revoke your probation and send you to jail.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I accept your plea. Sentence is as recommended and agreed. Once probation verifies completion of all of the conditions, probation will terminate. So, Mr. Pagano, we have contact information from you. Be on the lookout for a phone call from a strange number. Don't block it. Don't ignore it. Take strange calls until you've connected with probation. Because if you don't connect with probation, that could be considered a violation of your probation terms.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right. We have no further business. I can excuse you both.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, before we leave for today, I just wanted to inform the court that I will be at the prosecutor's summer conference, July 19th and through the 21st.
We can set our July dates yet, so Ms. Daniels, if you would carve them out.
See what I can do.
Don't schedule anything. If Ms. Daniels is feeling in a good mood, we won't schedule anything for her.
Oh, what do I got to do to get you in a good mood?
Hey, Courtney, can you resend the one for Wesley Young? That had Mr. Israel's name on it.
Oh, okay, yes, I'll do that right now. Sorry about that.
I got it
Thank you.
blocked off, Judge, 719 through 721 for Courtney.
Thank you, Ms. Daniels.
All right, if we don't have any other further business, we'll let everybody have a good rest of the day.
Bye, Tavia.
Bye.
See y'all later. Take care.